Yes, hello, tech heads. We're back. Yeah, sorry about last week. Had a few technical issues and so forth, but I put my mind to things and I've fixed it all up. Yeah, so I had a bit of a messy week last week. I had my little Windows server machine go down and it wasn't doing anything. I couldn't access it or anything. I was driving me insane. And then I logged in to do the podcast, and then nothing happened. There was no video. There was no nothing. It was all crazy as well. So anyway, we had to abandon last week for the first time in history. The show was abandoned. Anyway, we've got I didn't abandon the stories though. We're going to go quickly through last week's stories real quick and bring you right up to date as of today. Rightio. And to do that, we've got here helping me tonight all the way from NBN country, Jason.
Melbourne, Geelong. Hi, and we're coming here live from Geelong near Melbourne. How's it going?
Good. You look like you're in the chopper. Can we have a can we have a road report, please, while you're there?
Yes, and for the people who missed out last week, we'll give you all your money back that you paid for the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Money back guarantee.
Every single last cent.
We'll double your money.
And times it by 10.
Can't say fairer than that.
No. So you've had internet problems as well, NBN problems. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it?
It went fine for the first week I was here. It was pretty cool. And it's 140. So that's a pretty good start, only because Wi-Fi is theoretical. I can get 20 up, 20 down most days. And then I was lucky to get one down. And I was like, that's not right. And it was rubbish. Like a half a meg. I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. And I did pings and trace routes and stuff, and I was getting 75% packet loss, which is ridiculous because you should get zero. And then we rang up by iNet and said, WTF, mate? And they're like, see if you can plug a laptop directly into your NBN box. So lucky I had my MacBook Pro here, so I whacked it in there. It was still getting the same problem. So we go, well, it's not the wiring. It's not your iNet Bob modem or something weird and wacky. Yep. It's got to be something in the system. So he said, okay, we'll try and put you through to the fibre team because it's definitely got to be a problem with the fibre there. Okay. I don't think he got through to the fibre team, honestly. I just remembered. Yeah, just remembered. We do have a known fibre issue in Victoria. So, you don't have to talk to us about that, and goodbye.
Oh, so yeah. Great.
And all the time I've been bitching in Winepool, of course, because that's what you do. And yes. So I said on Winepool to the iiNet guys, there was a couple of them on the thread that I'd created, and there was other people joining in saying, yeah, we got problems in Victoria too. And they said, no, there's no fibre outage. We don't know anything about that. And one of the other guys said, well, I rang up separately and got told exactly the same story. Yeah, there's a known outage. And they said, no, there's no outage. Like, well, your guys on the phone are just trying to get us to hang up and get us out of the phone call queue, I think. Yeah. They said there was. And anyway, so after a few more days of complaining and trace routes flooding this thread that I put in there, they actually lodged a real honest-to-goodness fault, sent a technician down there and went, yeah, there is something wrong there. So, we fixed it.
Was it just you?
No, it was this whole area. It's probably affected maybe half a dozen to a dozen suburbs.
Yeah, right. Oh, geez, what a nightmare.
So they fixed it, and then, it was going really good. And then last night, just before we're about to do the Obsidian Loft Minecraft podcast, it went all crap again for 2 hours. I was getting the same 75% packet loss. And I'm, no, not again. We just got all this sorted. But now it's all good now.
Yeah,
and we can even watch our Fetch TV over it.
Oh, good. Well, you don't expect to have these problems with the NBN, but I suppose
that's what I was saying. It's like it should be the most reliable technology there is now. I mean, it doesn't get water in it because he's like, well, it's not ADSL, so obviously there's not water in the pits. We're like, yeah, I know this. I know. I've been dealing with broadband technology in Australia for a long time. We were one of the first few on the ADSL one when it came out. We were one of the first. My wife at the time and I were moved across from cable to ADSL and had our Telstra Big Pond 3 gig a month cap. That was huge. We're posting all this stuff like I joined Telstra for ADSL and all I got was this 3 gig cap and then a picture of the cap.
Yes, oh, look, I remember those old days, yeah, the dial-ups and all that sort of stuff. It's all good. All right, well, I'm glad you're back on deck, and what we're going to do for something different, because we love having problems, is we're just going to pause there for 2 seconds. All right. Yes, Gremlins fixed, hopefully. Now, I'll tell you what, if you stay tuned after, probably around the middle of the show, have I got some good news for you. I have got the best news. Anyone, I know, you won't believe it, Jace. Apparently, there is a solution for the crypto locker malware thing. So how good is that? So I'm going to tell you all about that in a minute. But look, let's go straight into some last week's stories. They just bring us right up to date. We got Cortana, Microsoft's answer to Siri, is coming to Australia. Yes, we'll release Cortana in the next update for Windows Phone 8.1. So I don't think that's happened in the past week. Might be old news.
Most people who own Windows phones will be very happy about that.
Yeah, yes. Yes, Cortana.
Speaking of phones, do I get to have a bit of a whinge about how Telstra sucks like everybody else has a whinge?
Yeah, go on.
Right, so my I've got HTC One, which I've been raving about how wonderful it is. They're not.
Right.
This is my second one. The first one, you plug your headphones in and the sound still comes out the speakers, not the headphones. So I took it to Telstra and that's a fault. Here's another one. This one, after a few weeks, does the same thing. And now it's got this really cool feature where if you put it in your pocket, it'll switch off and not come back on until you plug it into a computer.
That's handy.
Not Telstra's fault. Fine, it's HTC. They screwed up. So Telstra are like, oh, we got this new LG G3 phone coming out. Everybody loves it. It's got Quad HD screen. Beautiful phone. 5.5 inches, so it's going to be a lot bigger than anything else I've ever had. You can pre-order it now. Yeah. And I could switch my plan to a cheaper plan. I'm currently paying $85 a month, so I can get 2 gigs. This would be $77 a month for the same 2 gigs and calls and everything. So I'm like, cool, I'll pre-order that and I'll switch my plan. They're like, yeah, we're happy with that. If you just pay out the rest of that phone contract, which was like $230 or something for the HTC one that doesn't work.
Yeah.
The second one.
Hang on.
And then you can have it. So I'm like, great, that's awesome. So I put in my pre-order and then I got this email saying, oh, your pre-order's been cancelled. It's like,
oh, great. What? But why did you want to pay the phone out anyway? Was it a piece of rubbish?
Well, you have to. It's phone contract.
Yeah, but the phone didn't work.
You break your knees if you don't pay out your contract.
But the phone didn't work. It was a piece of rubbish.
That's right, yeah, but they still require you to pay for the phone that you've got, even if it's not working. You could take it back in there and then say, get me another one. They'll send it away for 2 weeks and then send you back a refurbished one or something like that. I was like, I don't care. Yep. I just want the new phone.
Yep.
So I read all the reviews and everyone's going, LG G3, best phone ever made in the whole of the universe. Get it now. So I was like, cool. So I put in my pre-order. They cancel it and said, phone this number. So I phoned the number and it goes, this number is only open between 9 and 5 weekdays and it's 9 o'clock, so go away. So I rang another number and talked to them web chat, and it turns out that because I'm not currently living at the address that's on my account contract, they can't send a pre-order phone to me at a different address because they can't cope with that. Their head explodes. So they said, you can't have it. They said, well, you can go into a shop and get it on the day and then switch. And I'm like, well, let's see. If I go into the shop on the day, I don't get my $250 Visa gift card that comes with the pre-order only. I don't get the free wireless charging pad that comes with the pre-order only if you do it on the web, right? And they're going, that's right, you don't get any of those funky cool stuff. And I'm like, well, I was counting on the $250 Visa gift card to pay off the old phone that you gave me that doesn't work. But it wouldn't cost me anything to do the transfer and I'd actually be up in money. But as it turns out, they're like, no, you can't have it. I went into a store and said, is there anything you can do? I want to give you my money. I want to re-sign with you for another 24 months plus buy an expensive phone.
And pay out another one.
And they're like, no. Can't be done. If you can't get the phone delivered to the address that's on your account and be there with ID to prove who you are when it arrives, then you can't have the phone.
Why can't you just tell me you've moved there? Or have you got to show
I won't accept it because it was in the pre-order already.
Oh, right. But can you pre-order again?
Nope, because it was finished the next day after I pre-ordered.
You need to ring the complaints department. They'll sort it out.
I tell you who I did contact, Kogan, and I got exactly the same phone, which if I had got it outright from Telstra or Optus or Vodafone would have been $695, which is fine, but that's a 16 gig version because none of the yes, there he is, Rustlin. Look at old Russie. You get a 16 gig version with 2 gig of internal memory, which is only available to all the carriers in Australia. Or if you go with Russie Kogan, he can get you the 32 gig version, which is not available at any telecommunications company in Australia, which has 3 gigs of internal memory, and it's only about $630.
Oh.
So you save $60 and get a phone that's twice as big RAM and an extra gig of internal RAM for less money, including delivery.
That's just hopeless.
Russie, here's my credit card, mate. Send it to me, so it's on the way.
Yeah, good work. Well, the Telstra's lost out, haven't they? So that's
and I'm
ridiculous.
turning to Optus as soon as I get out of.
It reminds me.
I am. There's no coverage from Optus in this house, but
yeah, right. It reminds me like years ago when I was working at the NAB. Years ago, because the computers weren't that flash, and I remember you could do most of your things on your little computer at the counter. Blah blah blah, tap away, and then I realised someone came in one day and said, "I want to change my address." So I changed the address. And I said, "You can't do that at the Commonwealth." I said, "What are you talking about? No, you can't do it. You got to write out what the change of address is. They got to send it to Melbourne or Sydney, and then some operator got to punch it straight into the mainframe." They couldn't do it. That reminds me of that. But look,
Telstra, you could have had a happy customer for another 24 months, locked in a contract, and I probably would have recontracted after that to whatever fantastic phone came out after then.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm going to Optus. I'm going to be paying like $45 a month for 2 gigs. Unlimited calls, unlimited SMS, unlimited MMS and everything.
That's all right.
So I'm saving $40 a month on a new carrier. I don't care that it's going to cost me like $700 to pay out Telstra and tell them where they can
jam
the
it.
sun doesn't shine and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, well, that's hopeless. But, I did have a picture of Rustlin Kogan. Ruslan or Ruslan, whatever his name is, not just because I just have a picture of him just hanging around.
Oh, that was pretty quick, man. You're on the ball tonight.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I was talking to David Tody from the CEO of Telstra. Come on, put the picture up.
Yeah, no, I'm not that good.
Turnbull.
The reason I had Ruslan was because there's a story about him. It's Kogan has undercut the competition with a $229 4G phone. So Kogan and BenQ have launched a $229 4G smartphone called the Agora 4G, which the online retailer is claiming to be the best value 4G Android smartphone in the world. The Agora 4G is a 5-inch HD 4G LTE connectivity, 1.2 gigahertz quad-core processor, an 8-megapixel rear-facing camera, and a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera. The rest of the details can be seen on Ruslan's site, and no doubt that's Kogan.com. And also, another little Kogan story from last week was he's launching sports brand now, Fortis. Online retailer Kogan has signalled its move beyond technology into sports and fitness, as well as TVs.
He's everywhere, that guy.
He's what?
He's everywhere, that guy.
Oh, he is everywhere. He's like, what's that ad on the, he's everywhere, whoever that is. Now, as well.
Mustard.
So he's into yoga mats, dumbbells, gym balls, golf balls, all that sort of good stuff. Other products from the Fortis line include TrackFit, an activity and sleep tracking wristband, the Fortis magnetic bike trainer, an indoor exercise bike, and Fortis Smart Bells.
Jeez.
Which features 15 different weights in one dumbbell. Go figure that one out. How does that work?
Magic. It's all fairy dust and magic.
But that is weird. That's sucking air and I don't know. Anyway, founder Ruslan Kogan was named as one of the BRW's list of 200 richest Australians, with his wealth ranked at an estimated $320 million. That's not bad, is it? That's all right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, look.
The thing is, I don't know if I'd buy a Kogan branded something, but I'll definitely get an LG phone made by LG, which has just been imported by Kogan. It's made by the same company. There's not going to be any manufacturing defects or cheap shortcuts just because it came from there. Yeah.
Now, look, bad news for the people watching the video this week, because there is none, because it stopped again. Yes, and I'm not going to restart again. So there'll be no video this week. If you're lucky, maybe I'll put up a picture of Jason with the show on the background. We'll see how we go. I don't know what I'll do. Do you reckon I should put one up there? Yeah, just like that. Yeah, that's right. I'll just snap that one. That would be quite hilarious.
There's a
wouldn't
great big screw Telstra on the wall behind me. Can you do that?
it? Yes. Oh, yeah. You need to paint that wall green so you can.
I don't think my housemate would be too happy about painting the walls green.
No.
I was saying the same thing for our show. He's like, just get it painted up. No, I don't think that will go down well.
No. Yes, look, we have got the lounge with us as always, and hi, Rob Painkiller. He's saying that yes, the stream is working, the video is working in the stream, but the actual recording of it keeps going up the toilet. So
he's going to amaze him. Good work, son.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Let's quickly move on to Jace. You didn't have any stories last week because you were NBN internetless. So another quick one here from last week. Apple lops $200 off the MacBook Pro. So there you go. If you want some cheap Apple MacBook Pros, they're $200 cheaper. So look, see, I even had all these things ready to go, all these images, and now it's just all going to go to waste. Oh well. Blah 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 blah. Oh, Apple's profit. There's Ruslan. Oh, there's that phone, Agora 4G.
You're on the bulletin. You do it so well, and now it's all falling to bits.
I know. So because I start thinking about too much about what's going on, and then it just.
That's your problem. Start thinking. What have I told you about thinking, Tommy? You shouldn't do much of it, or you
just shouldn't do it. Apple has reported a net profit of $7.7 billion. Whew.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how they go after Beats is fully integrated from this week.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. Sales of the iPhone in the quarter grew by 13.9% to 35.3 million. Meanwhile, iPad sales totaled 13.3 million. That's down 8.9%. So I don't know what's going on there. Although the company credited strong iPhone and Mac sales, its overall quarterly results had 7.7 billion profit a quarter.
I could do with a bit of that.
Couldn't they? Yeah, just spread it around. That'd be nice. That'd be real nice. All right, now, this week's stories. All right. Well, let me start.
Don't you start now.
Cue the siren noises.
Warning, Will Robinson.
Officeworks issues recall after a USB charger melts.
Danger.
So apparently, as many as 3,400 chargers have been sold, according to the New South Wales Fair Trading. Approximately 1,050 of the products with model number MS100-71223 were sold in New South Wales.
Here's the thing. They went on a great big blitz last week because some chick got electrocuted by a cheap Chinese knockoff USB charger. So they're like, only buy the really good ones from like Officeworks and stuff. And now it's like, I got one from Officeworks and it still killed me. What now?
Yeah, so...
can't win.
No. So, yeah, so they're going... New South Wales Fair Trading... has been undertaking hundreds of inspections looking for unapproved electrical devices. So I wonder, which got me thinking, like, so these people that, you ring up China and you say, send me 10,000 USB chargers. Well, they wouldn't be approved.
No.
So they're naughty.
I got mine from eBay. Probably came from China.
Yeah.
The only thing is, when I go to pay for Belkin one, you pay like 2 or 3 times the normal price just because it's got Belkin written on it. But mine's fine. It's got 4 charge ports in it. Each is 2 amps. I charge everything up fast just through the one plug.
I bought
to have a 6 to 8 socket power board to plug every bloody thing in, and that one goes sideways, so it has to go at the end, and this one goes upside down, so it goes in there, and those two won't fit together because it's a bit too fat. You just get the one plug and USB them all into the side of it, charge them all up from the one socket.
Well, I had the little 4. I had a 4-pack double quaddle adapter.
Quaddle adapter.
Yeah, for the old cigarette lighter, the old quaddle adapter. Yeah. Got it from China, plugged it in, fuse blew.
Hilarious.
So then I had to get onto eBay and I had to look for fuses. No idea. No, I don't know where I bought one from. I think I went to the servo somewhere. Oh, servos don't sell fuses anymore.
Liverpool Markets in Sydney, and for $10 got one of the car cigarette lighter ones. It's got 4 sockets for cigarette lighter type things, and it's got a couple of ports in there for USB. And I just got, because the USB ports weren't that high rated, I went to North Rocks Markets and got a little USB cigarette lighter thing that it's just one little thing about that big, and you just shove it into the cigarette lighter port, and it's got 2 ports on there. One's 1 amp, one's 2 amps, and just plug everything in there.
Yeah, well, that's the way to go. But yeah, like
$7.
Yeah, you can't complain. But it goes to show, I suppose, that any stuff like this that gets brought into the country, it obviously still has to be approved. Like, there's no cheap way of doing it.
I think Officeworks would.
What, they would approve it?
Get the approved ones only.
Well, you'd think so. You'd hope so. Penalties for the sale of unapproved items ranges from on-the-spot fines of $500 to prosecutions. So with a maximum penalty...
They're going to prosecute the USB charger to the full extent of the law.
But only,
you're going to jail, USB charger. You ain't killing nobody this time, you murderer.
But it was only the 2 amp side that was the problem. The 1 amp side got off.
Yeah.
With a maximum penalty of $87,500, 2 years imprisonment for an individual, or $875,000 for a corporation. So, there you go.
That's how it works.
Yeah. All right.
JB, guys.
JB. Now, tell me, I think last show we were talking about the Chrome thing.
Chrome thingammy.
What was that called? The streaming Chrome dongle thing. Chromecast. That's right. I'm thinking Chromium. But yeah, Chromecast. That's it. Now,
Chromium is the open source version of Google Chrome browser. So,
I was nearly there. So tell me, Chrome. I went into JB Hi-Fi. Spoke to the all knowledgeable JB Hi-Fi orbs that just circle around the store.
All knowledgeable, it's gone, yeah.
And he told
anyone who works in sales, I wouldn't say all knowledgeable about anything whatsoever.
No, because he told me the biggest pack of frog crap I've ever heard. and I thought, oh, look, I'll have to.
Those shops and the customers are like, excuse me, does this particular device here have the following abilities, blah, blah, blah? And they're like, probably, yep. They sure do. And then he walks off and I go up to the guy and go, it doesn't. No, don't buy it. You're wasting your money. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, I said to him, I was asking questions about this Chromecast because I was going to get one. Remember, after that last fortnight's podcast, I was going to go in and get the thing from Dick Smith. I got there first thing in the morning. I got there, they're still closed. I felt like a real freak just hanging out the front of Dick Smith waiting for it to open, going, $39 Chromecast, here I come. And so I get in there and they're $49. I went to the lady, haven't you got these for $39? I had it on good authority. William, my very knowledgeable.
My good mate Will, he'll have you if you don't give it to him right price.
He'll have you for breakfast.
Will around and break your kneecaps.
And so I said, so he goes, oh, look, no. She said, I'll scan it in, and so she scans it in, $49. And I went, oh, well, see.
35 US, so they got the Australian tax on them, which made them 49.
Yeah, but what they were 39, but it was online only, and only for that weekend, which I missed out on. So anyway, and free postage. But anyway, so I went to JB Hi-Fi, and I said, they got them for 49, and because I'd walked all the way from Dick Smith to JB, same price, I thought, look, I might just buy one, And the guy goes, they don't stream from your phone like this.
That's right, yep.
And I said, okay, so what does that mean? And he says, so you can't stream a movie from your phone because the Chromecast connects to the service you're streaming from to stream it. Yep. But then I come home and I'm looking at the site and you're sending stuff to the Chromecast from your phone.
If it's running in something like a browser or an application that's Chromecast ready,
yeah, right.
And it's programmed for it, then you can send it through. So a lot of people reprogrammed their. There was a famous guy, I can't remember his name now, but they were talking about on Leo's podcast where he had an app that lets you watch movies and stuff. And before the Chromecast API came out, he reverse engineered it so that his program would. And then they set up a approved list of apps for Chromecast. And his wasn't on the list, so then all of a sudden your Chromecast didn't work with it when it got updated. And it was like, it's a conspiracy. They hate this guy. They're trying to. It's like, no, we're just trying to stop malicious stuff from doing the wrong thing. He can be added onto the list of approved apps, and then he got added on, and then suddenly his app could Chromecast movies to the thing. But usually what happens is the Chromecast. You've got a browser open on youtube.com or something like that. And you're like, I don't want to watch this on the little screen, or you've got it on your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to watch it on the big screen. So you can press the Chromecast button and it'll send it across. Same as the Apple does with their AirPlay.
Right.
The apps have to be written to know that technology and the protocols to be able to send it to the device. So if you just get any old app, you can't Chromecast that. But if it's Chromecast ready, then you'll be able to do it.
So you can get an app that will sync to your media server.
Yep.
So you can still do it.
It'll just stream it through, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I wanted to do.
That, the one that he's talking about is you go to youtube.com and you say, I want to Chromecast this. It doesn't download it into your computer and then send it over the Wi-Fi, stream the video to your Chromecast. It says to your Chromecast, here's the video that Glenn wants to currently watch. Here's the URL of it and where we're currently up to. You start streaming it directly through the Wi-Fi from YouTube yourself, and then you could switch your computer off and it would keep on going on the Chromecast because the Chromecast is streaming it directly, not your computer. So that's what he's trying to say, but he probably doesn't know that there's Chromecast-enabled apps.
So he was half an orb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was half orb. All right. Half man, half orb. Okay, what...
He's a mudblood.
What stories
they call him in Harry Potter.
Oh.
Almost a year after the launch, Australian Xbox One owners still cannot walk into a room and say Xbox On to activate their console. In the US, saying Xbox On will switch on the console, the TV, the home theatre receiver, and set them all to the appropriate settings. None of this is currently enabled for Australian users, even though the hardware that makes it possible is present in the local version of the machine, and it otherwise deals perfectly well with our Australian accents.
Good.
Significant missing feature is the integration of TV content, both free-to-air and pay TV. In the US, a cable TV receiver or digital set-top box is plugged into the Xbox, which then outputs the signal to the TV using the pass-through. This setup allows users to change the channels with voice commands, see information overlays on the TV screen, and more. Currently, this feature is disabled for Australians.
Sweet.
Another perpetual bugbear for Australian gamers is the scarcity of local multiplayer game servers. Many companies will not set up a powerful data crunching centres on our shores, so players have to make do with systems in Western California or Southeast Asia. Both solutions can cause system slowdowns and difficulty finding locals to play with and against. On this topic, at least, we've got good news. Xbox One data centres are arriving in Australia soon.
Good.
We've made the commitment to launch Australian data centres. They're not open yet, but we do expect them to open sometime this year. On Titanfall, they worked with EA and Respawn to come up with a local service solution for Australians because the local data centre isn't up and running yet. So good news in the future for some stuff.
Now, I've got an Xbox story. I bought a game for my Xbox. Probably the
Congratulations. All by yourself?
I walked in the EB Games all by myself. I'm ummed and ahed and
Not Dick Smith?
No, not Dick Smith. It was the same day, actually. I walked out of JB Hi-Fi and walked into EB Games. And so anyway, I bought the kids Minecraft on the Xbox. So, yeah, they've been playing that. They like it. Hey? Good?
You can buy it online and just send it straight to your machine from the Xbox Marketplace. You don't need a disc, but
probably.
I guess if you're there.
I've only got like a little 4 gig Xbox.
Yeah.
You know, one of those little cheapy things.
Cheap, crappy one.
Yeah, but anyway, doesn't matter. Bought the disc. But so can they play with other people without the subscription to Xbox Gold or whatever it is?
Probably not. I think they would need the subscription to Xbox Gold because what happens is the other players have to be able to connect into the server that you've set up on your own machine. You sort of, in a sort of roundabout way, you run your own local server on your Xbox and people connect into your computer and play in the worlds that you've created. But if you switch your Xbox off, they can't connect into your world like they can with the computer ones.
Oh, okay, right.
At this stage, one of the things that we announced on our Obsidian Loft Minecraft podcast, now available on YouTube and any podcast application.
Any good podcast directories.
Yes, they're looking at some way to get it so that Xbox One can save the data into maybe the Microsoft Azure cloud servers so that other people can work on their houses on your server game while you're offline. So
Right.
They don't have to ring you up and go, Chris, can you turn on your computer? I want to play, and Mum won't let me go on the other ones because people on there say rude words. And,
Yes. What is your server still running?
Yes, we got two. Well, there's one hidden one that my daughter and her friends play on safely. They can do whatever they want on there. And we've got our Attack of the B Team public server, which is has a special mod pack to allow you to do extra stuff that doesn't come with a normal Minecraft.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, rightio. Cool. All right. I'll have to get the kids to jump back on and see what's changed. Oh, have you got the tablet world going?
No, Mr. T's. I think he wants to wait till it comes out of beta. They're still working on. They just released beta 2 of the new server for the Pocket Minecraft,
right?
And they're still not really stable, so he'd prefer to wait until it was less crashy before setting it up and allowing you guys to log on.
I can't understand.
When the kids get halfway through building a house and the server crashes and then we have to delete and start again because it just makes everybody cranky.
I can't understand why they don't all just talk to the one server or something, like why.
Eventually they said they're going to try and make it cross-platform like that. But at this stage, because the desktops were all written in Java, they just wrote it for one. They just wrote it once in Java and it worked on all platforms because Java is cross-platform. The Pocket one and the Xbox and the PlayStation had to be coded from scratch because you can't run Java on those. So they wrote them in C++. And they're trying to catch up for the last 2 or 3 years that Minecraft has been in development and adding on new functionality, new creatures, new objects, new things you can pick up and items and things. And so they're making good headway. They're pretty close at the moment, but they're still a bit behind. So you don't want to be logging on with a client that's like 10 versions behind the current ones, and then suddenly a mob appears in the screen that, they got this new mob that just came out called Guardians, which live underwater and are a hostile mob that you can attack and things will drop off it. If your little pocket PC one doesn't know what a Guardian is, the computer would probably crash, and then Dad's phone doesn't work anymore and get a bit cranky. So wait until they're all in sync. And I was saying, even on the show last night, I was saying, the Xbox has to be done in C++. The PlayStation has to be done in C++. The Pocket one has to be in C++. They should just standardize on that from now and throw out the Java, which is the desktop only, because all the others are the same language, so you might as well switch across, right? But then all the plugins, all the mods and everything have to be completely recoded from scratch. So
now, why is Minecraft such a low-res game? Like, they obviously set out to make it like that. Is that because they couldn't be bothered drawing stuff?
Well, Notch isn't that great at drawing things, but the original idea came from a game called Infinity Miner, which was just made of blocks. And the guy, I've been reading the story of Minecraft book that I bought from a real shop, and it's paper and everything.
Oh, what's that?
Marcus Persson, who's known as Notch in the Minecraft world, who created it, saw this game called Infinity Miner, and it was basically the original Minecraft, how it started. And this guy had been making it. It wasn't exactly the same, but it had a lot of the same similar features. And then apparently somebody got a hold of his code and released it free on the internet, so everyone started making up their own servers and their own versions of the client and stuff, and suddenly it just exploded into too many incompatible versions and nothing worked together. And then Notch, Marcus Persson, saw this. He's like, oh, that looks like a cool game. I bet I could make something like that. So he started working on it, and then he added in a few more features that people liked, and then he put up a demo of it, and it just went from there. So it just came from there that you would have a world that was just made of blocks in what they call voxel. And you pick up one block and you move it over here and stack it there, and then you pick up another one and stack it on top of it, and you can build stuff out of those blocks from there. You can, on the desktop one, if you've got a really good computer, you can get what they call texture packs, which change the graphics that are on the blocks to higher resolution. So you can have like 128 by 128 or 256, or even I think there's 512 if your computer is really good to render the blocks in really realistic looking graphics. But most people just stick with the basic.
Because what I found quite amusing is because the kids go, oh, can you get me Minecraft on the computer? And I've just chucked them an old laptop that I've got, probably running Windows 7, not too bad, and another little old desktop that's running Windows 8, not too bad, and that's fast enough and stuff. Anyway, I looked at the Minecraft and it wouldn't load up. It says your graphics card's not compatible. It's not. Your computer's not powerful enough. And I went, what? It's like an 8-bit graphics. Like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
because it's written in Java. It's not actually 8-bit. It's 64-bit code. The graphic is just blocky, but it has a lot of very complicated calculations for 3D geometry and collisions and stuff like that. And Java is not the most efficient thing. If they rewrote it in C++, as I was saying, it would run a lot better on lower-end devices, but Java requires a lot of overhead to be able to run and a lot of powerful computer. And a lot of people, has worked out for computer companies, people are like, oh, my computer works fine for browsing and Facebook and stuff. And they go, Minecraft, oh man, you're getting 100 frames a second. I'm only getting 68. So now I have to buy a new computer. So they buy it with, like Mr. Tompkinson or Will has got Crossfire cards at 2 gigs each and 64 gigs of RAM and big terabyte SSD hard drives and stuff just to run Minecraft really fast.
Yeah, good. Well, I'll tell you now, I've got another question for you after this story, because Microsoft has, it's going to relate back to Minecraft. I'm not just changing topics altogether, but Microsoft has announced its Surface Pro 3 will go on sale in Australia on August 28th. Now, prices for these things start at $979 for the 64 gig i3 model, increasing.
Base model, guys. That's the base model.
Yeah, up to $2,279 for the most expensive 512 gig Intel i7.
Why would you want an iPad 4 when you could have a Surface 3? It's obviously much better because it's made by Microsoft, and we know how great they are at making tablets.
Pre-orders are now possible. Now possible. Via. And I didn't even...
They want to give you a free one if you pre-order. You get that one plus a free one for your kids or your wife or something. Because seriously, who's going to pre-order $2,000 Surface Pro 3?
You know what you do get for free when you order them? This is on the site. No, they're so generous, Microsoft. You get a $25 App Store card.
Whoa, dude!
Great? Oh, I'm ordering 2. Now, I didn't know the URL to the Microsoft Store. Do you know
Nobody does.
No. It's microsoftstore.com. There you go. Everyone knows Apple. Everyone knows Play. And I never knew it until I read it. So obviously, like with anything. But anyway, when the site blah blah blah, Microsoft wants the device to be seen as a rival to the MacBook Air, with Microsoft Online.
It's worse, doesn't it?
Capability. Yeah.
I'd want some of the stuff that those guys are smoking because it sounds pretty awesome. Serious. The
Surface Pro has a larger 12-inch screen compared to the Surface Pro 2, as well as being lighter and thinner than the previous model. Now, my question is, so therefore you would think, because it's essentially a i7 Windows 8 machine, so therefore you could run your Minecraft on a tablet, but the computer version.
If they had a version of Java that runs on there, I don't know if they do. It's supposed to be able to run just about anything. Be very surprised if Java would run on it.
Oh, right. And look, all this talk about Minecraft.
You could ask Will. He's an expert on all things Microsoft Surface.
Look who's come out of his burrow.
How about running Minecraft on a Microsoft Surface? Would you do it?
It's Will.
The question is, why would you do it? That's the question.
Hi, Will.
Although, given that you've just paid $2,000 for a laptop, you'd probably want it to run Minecraft, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, you'd like it to. How are you going, Will? Good for you to join us.
Yeah, it's actually
Fuzzy Chops is here, everyone.
I literally just got back from work and I've had a haircut, as you can tell, so that's why I was running late today.
I was going to say that the hair on your...
I've got to shave because the beard's longer than the hair now.
I was going to say the hair on your face is longer than the hair on your head. And you got your little ear all squashed up.
Hey, what's wrong with my ear? What?
He had his hat on a bit too tight and it pushed all the hair through his head and out through his chin.
All right. Well, you've come at the end of our Minecraft segment.
Yeah.
Bad timing.
I was channeling you. I was in the chat room and I just was trying to get things set up so I could jump in, but yes, anyway, it's all good.
All right. Good. Well, you can ride the wave till the end of the show. Because, Jace, what's another story that you might have this week?
Well, if Foursquare's attempt to force users into Swarm, which I'd never heard of until one of my friends started posting Swarm check-ins on Facebook, has taught us anything, it's people don't like being forced into apps. Oh, Facebook, never one to heed the lessons of history, same as the Australian government, will soon be forcing its iOS and Android users over to Facebook Messenger, and many users are not happy about it. Facebook sent an email to users alerting them messages will be disappearing from Facebook's iPhone and Android app. For now, messages will remain in the iPad and Windows Phone app for now, as well as the mobile web and desktop. While Facebook is suggesting users make the switch over to Messenger for some time, the social networks stop short of actually forcing them to do so. But now if you're yet to download Messenger, you'll see reminders prompting you to get it. Eventually, the messages disappear entirely, and users will only be able to check messages via the web or the Messenger app.
Why are they doing
While Facebook
this?
Messenger has been available since 2011, many users who've still not downloaded the app are reluctant to do so and not pleased about the new push to force them into the app. So why would Facebook be forcing users into an app that some people still don't want to use? The company says Messenger is faster and more reliable than chatting within the main Facebook app. Messenger also has more features like voice and video calling, but the real reason may have something to do with Facebook's bottom line. Of course, they're going to monetize it, right?
Oh, I thought it was just
well, I mean,
Facebook's bottom.
Ads everywhere.
I pretty much have to use the Messenger app because the Facebook app's more or less useless for me at the moment. It just keeps crashing, and not just my phone. Most people I've spoken to since the last update has just been absolutely horrible. So I actually don't mind the app. It took me. I was one of those people who refused to install it. No, don't want it. And now that I've got it, I'm actually glad I did.
There's only one reason that I like it is because its notifications are separated out. Before, even if I selected the only notifications I want to receive from Facebook app are the ones from the Messenger, I still got Bob has liked your post that you posted 3 years ago on his page. I'm like, I don't need to know that. I just want to know if somebody wants to talk to me. That's it. I just refused to do that. So now I've got a separate app. I get the notifications differently and I can get them on my Pebble Watch.
Nice. Well, I logged into Facebook, Foursquare the other day. I hadn't logged into it for ages. So I logged into it, and yes, I was presented with, it just said download Swarm. I go, well, I don't want Swarm. I want Foursquare. And I couldn't understand what it was doing. I said, well, all right, I'll download your stupid Swarm then. So I downloaded Swarm. I went, well, now where's Foursquare? I don't know. So has it changed? So there's no more Foursquare. Is that right?
No, now it's Swarm.
So it's changed its name. Oh, I couldn't get it.
Fantastic, right?
I couldn't get it. Why couldn't they change the app? So when the app comes up, you load it up, and it just says push an update out, and you load it up, and it says, "Hello, this app is no longer working properly. Please download Swarm and enjoy Foursquare as it used to be, but under a new name." Why didn't it do that? I didn't know what was going on.
If my phone said that to me, I think I'd throw it against the wall, to be honest.
I didn't know what was going on.
Because it's faster, more efficient, and able to track you and steal more of your data than
I think a lot of it is to do with bandwidth, because it's much easier just to push out a message notification to just a single line of text than it is to push out to a heap of coding involved in it so that Facebook knows which particular section to put it under and where it comes from. And so I think it's probably a similar sort of principle with a lot of the apps now. It's all about bandwidth. If you've got, a few 100 million users or things like that, and they're all sending messages at the same time, that's a lot of data.
Yes, it is. Now, Will, I'm just going to go on to another story, but would you be able to just turn your volume up a tickle?
Up.
Please.
You'll have to speak louder. I'm wearing a towel.
We'll just see how you go. But anyway, we'll see how he goes when he comes in after this. Australian researcher Joshua Rogers has discovered a method for getting past PayPal's two-factor authentication. That's no good. I thought two-factor was unbreakable, which is possible due to an issue in the way that PayPal accounts integrate with eBay accounts. So a PayPal spokesman told scmmagazine.com in a Tuesday email correspondence that the company is aware of the issue, which is limited to a small amount of integrations with adaptive payments, and he's working on getting it addressed as quickly as possible. Rogers said PayPal told him something similar on June 5. All the way back then, Rogers got on his goat, got his ire up, he did, and he said, "I'm going public. That's it, I'm public." And here's
the question: why don't we have Steve on this week? He'll be the one to talk to about it, right?
That's right. He probably wouldn't be allowed.
He flew down here today.
Hey,
it's in Melbourne.
He did, yes. Hi, Steve. In rainy, sunny, snowy, windy Melbourne.
Overcast.
Now,
hail.
So anyway, apparently the problem was never fixed. So old Jace decided to disclose the issue on Monday in a post. And also, Google finds images in Gmail leads to child porn arrest, child abuse arrest. So they've gone through people's emails. This is another, there's probably another side to this argument. But police found child abuse images on this guy's smartphone and tablet, as well as emails and text messages discussing his interest in children. In 1994, he was convicted of sexually assaulting an 8-year-old boy. Detective such and such of the Houston Metro Internet Crimes, we have a problem, told the agency this guy was trying to get around getting caught. He was trying to keep it inside his email. And he said thinking no one could see that information. Well, Google trawls through your emails. I don't know, they must obviously be actively seeking porn, are they?
Well, what they had a discussion about that on Twit with Leo Laporte this week, and one of the guys on there used to work for the NSA said it's probably they were actually alerted by a child porn prevention, child safety company. And he said what would happen is they would have a database of known graphic images like this and links to where they got them from. And if they could match it up a hashing of that against what this guy had in his emails, maybe he was already known to be like that, or maybe they're just running it through because the government or police require them to keep an eye out for this kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, you can just make a code, which is what they call a hash of an image or a tune or something like that, which is how they do content matching for like YouTube and things like that. And if it's a known image already and he gets a copy of that image, then you can do it based on that. If it was something that he just took yesterday, then obviously they're not going to have that in their database. But if it's something that has been circulating around those kind of people's computers and networks, and they've got connections in there and they get copies of those images stored on their database, create a hash of it, and then say to Google, if anybody has got anything like this on any of their accounts, let us know. Then that's probably what happened, rather than somebody at Google going, okay, now I've got to log into Will's email. Yeah, he's been a good boy. Okay, now I've got to go into Glenn's, read all of his emails. Geez, he's got some boring crap in here. All right, go into Jason's emails. Oh, yeah, he thinks he's really cool.
What a stud this guy is.
Yeah. Go into the next one. Nobody's going to sit there going through millions of emails through billions and billions of accounts. So
no way.
They have to have a computer that's matching these things up, and eventually it's going to alert them and say, hey, due to the colouring in the image, it looks like there's a lot of flesh in there. Running against a database hash of known images. Yep, we've got one that matches that. Then somebody can obviously go in there and access it and see what it actually is, and then alert somebody about it.
Yeah, well, all this buzz around, put all your photos and everything up in the cloud. Well, I know I've mentioned this before, but it's pertinent again for now, I suppose. But I put some photos up in the cloud of the kids, and one of the photos was the kids having a bath, and Microsoft sent me an email. So obviously that photo was not around the place. But they've picked it out and they've said, oh, hello, you've got porn in the SkyDrive, get it out. And they said otherwise they close me down. So I pulled it out. So
yeah, I guess it would be matching based on flesh tones, the quantity of
shapes,
flesh tones in
and
image,
sizes
and
somebody's
stuff. Like, let's better check this out.
Yes. How you going, Will?
Well, they got facial recognition, so they could definitely tell there were people in there.
Oh yeah, that's right. But do they have
like a picture of a bum and they go, whoa, that looks like 2-year-old
bum recognition.
Smooth as a peach, that one. So definitely is being naughty there.
Yeah. Will, how you doing?
Yeah, just looking through some stories. The problem is I don't know what you've already covered, but there's some interesting stories happening this week, that's for sure. The one that just you have done the see-through mice by any chance?
No.
You missed see-through mice, really?
I saw the article. We haven't talked about it, though.
What is it? See-through mice?
Yeah. Scientists have, they've been able to make organs transparent to varying degrees for like a century now. But they've actually figured out a way. Obviously, they're not alive; they're dead. It's for research. But they've figured out a way to make the organs, the bones, the tissues, the muscles, everything all transparent now, so they can study a body that's complete in perfect, perfect completeness, rather than.
It's a different story to one I saw in the news today, that they've found a way to make carbon nanotubes water soluble and can colorize them so that they can inject it into a mouse or eventually a human, and it goes through their blood system and can circulate through the brain, and they can see where clots are, where the blood is being blocked off, and they could do an operation directly there.
Yeah, that's part of this story later on. They're saying that things like they've been able to map out the brain or certain organs in that exact way, and it picks up much more than X-rays or MRIs could possibly do. Figuring out how organs work and how the central nervous system reacts and things like that. But I mean, really, if you think about it, it's the step before the Invisible Man, isn't it? I mean, there's not much to go between, these mice being killed for lab research to somebody trying it on a human, because there's always one out there who goes, "Hey, give me that needle."
But no, I've walked through Sydney City plenty of times, and I tell you what, I feel pretty invisible there.
Yeah, well, there's that. So, but for some reason that just grabbed my attention. It's I don't know if it's a really amazing scientific breakthrough or something that really shouldn't exist.
Well, I'll tell you something that absolutely grabbed my attention this week, and that is now. And actually, it's probably ironic that it has come because I only had my first taste of the crypto locker virus last week. Not me personally, but one of my clients. And
you said, sorry, reformat.
Yeah, I did. And he got a reformat. But now it has come to light. There is an antidote. Can you believe it? There's an antidote. The Decrypto Locker. You go, the malicious program encrypts files on Windows computers and demands a substantial fee before handing over the key to unscramble files. This guy, the one I saw, came through by way of an Australia Post spoof email. Came from ostpost.biz, and we all know that the .bizes are great.
Yeah. Did you see today that they've launched .fail and .wtf?
Yes. Yeah, I saw that today.
I was reading that.
Yeah. And so anyway, so he clicked, it says, yes, hi, you got a parcel waiting for you at the post office. Please put this code in and we'll tell you which agency to go to and pick it up or whatever. He put the code in.
Did you ask him if he'd actually ordered something and was waiting for it, or he thought this was a wonderful gift that Australia Post was sending him because they're such lovely people and thought that it might be his birthday or something?
No, he actually was waiting for something. But I think
no.
Yeah, but without the, I suppose, why would you have to put a password into? It was very. I would may have even fallen for it. I don't know. Just luckily it didn't come.
Joe
to me.
Everett's definitely fall for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but all I can say to him is, look, I said, you email you with some, Tindle Tondle telco. And and these spam things are just coming through all the time. Like if you're with
rhymes with Helstra,
I said if you're with Google, Gmail, or something like that, they're probably going to be caught and spammed out. But anyway, So anyway, to decrypt the crypto locker, there is a page, the decryptolocker.com. And you upload one of your encrypted files, and lo and behold, a key comes back, and it's the unlock key, apparently.
And it's a customized version of the program to decrypt it too.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have been written by the guy who wrote the original program, would it?
No, they. What happened was a couple of security companies actually got into the site where they were doing where they were asking you to upload your files and pay money, and they stole the encryption keys from the bad guys. Found out how to reverse engineer their software using their keys, and now they put up this website so you can do it for free instead of $300 US.
I was going to say that
upload one file. It could be readme.txt that's encrypted, and they'll read through that file, compare it with their keys, create a reverse algorithm, and it spits out a exe file. It's a custom decryption program and sends it back to gives you a link where you can download it, and then you just run it on your computer and it decrypts everything again.
So that's assuming your computer's still in a usable condition, I suppose.
Well, it is.
Yeah, you can still use it. They just encrypted all of your doc, Word, Excel, PDF files.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because I said to this guy, I said, why don't you put a new hard drive in this thing and just keep this one on the shelf? Because he had all his stuff on it. He didn't have a backup. He was screwed. He was totally screwed.
And the problem is, if you do have a backup, it's backing up the now encrypted file, so you're still screwed.
That's right. So,
That's why you have three separate backups.
Yep.
Yes.
So hopefully by the time that happens, you've noticed it.
Yeah. But anyway, because I said to him, why don't you put the encrypted drive on the shelf and put a new hard drive in? And he said, no, don't worry about it. I said, you sure? He goes, yeah, don't worry about it. And look at this. A week later, poor bastard. I could have helped him out there.
Him. He's going to hate you.
Yes. Sorry, Dave, if you're watching.
But now Glenn's tech company has now got a new feature where they can decrypt your files if you've got a problem.
That's right.
Or a fee.
Come on down. All right. What else? Jace, have you got another one? Oh, Will, you got something?
Well,
Hey, no, you're right. I was just thinking, we're the first company in Australia to offer a decryption service. It's only $299 US.
Glenn will do it for you.
No.
$299 Australian dollars, so that's cheaper, right?
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't come to me immediately, it's $500.
And if it doesn't work, it's $1,000 and it's still in your computer.
That's right.
A new website detailing 80 or so websites or services where Australians can access digital content has been trumpeted as the end to the argument that Australians only download copyright infringing TV shows, films and music because it's not available in the country. The Digital Content Guide, launched by Foxtel, Music Rights Australia, Screen Australia, and a number of other content groups, is designed to pool all the available streaming and download services available in Australia. The website has over 80 different services from Foxtel Play to Spotify, Fetch TV, and Steam, all linking to places where content can be viewed or played either for free or for a fee. At the launch of the service in Sydney, Australian Home Entertainment Distributors Association CEO Simon Bush said that there are more digital services available now than any time before. Consumers have a larger range of video and music devices and video channels now more than any time in our history, he said. We need to listen to our customers and respond with content available on multiple platforms and devices sooner, whilst at the same time understanding the global nature of consumption of media. He said that in pooling together the various services, Australians could now see where they can go for content they want to watch. The lack of availability is no longer an excuse for copyright infringement, he said. But the service itself does not allow customers to search for which subscription service contains which show or film they want to watch. The user that wanted to watch Game of Thrones, for example, would need to check in across a number of different services before being able to determine the price and availability of the show on Foxtel Play, iTunes, QuickFlix, or Google Play.
So there you go. That looks all right.
That was a nice idea, but basically it's just a bunch of bookmark links that just go to other sites where you have to type into their search engine. Breaking Bad, no, you don't have to close it. Go back to the digital contents thing. Who else has got it? BBC iPlayer, click on there, go there. No, they haven't got it. Close that one. Go to Foxtel. Have Foxtel got it? Yes. Cool. Oh, I have to subscribe for $100 a month. So screw that. Okay, on to Google Play. Have they got it? No.
But the stupid thing is,
like you could type in Breaking Bad and it searches through all the services handily for you, like they do in the US with canistreamit.com, and in the UK, this is just basically a bunch of bookmarks to other places where you can do your searches at.
is it just me, or does everyone have trouble with the Australian catch-up apps? Jump In is the worst for me. Then Channel 10, second worst. And then
ABC iView is the only one I've used, and that's because they have Doctor Who, and it goes quite well.
But that's good, yeah. iView is great.
Yeah, iView works. That's based on the BBC one, isn't it?
Probably,
yeah. I use it on the Xbox or on my tablet. It works great.
Yeah, but this Jump In, it just drives you insane. So I can understand why people just get the craps with it. All right.
But this service doesn't solve any issue.
No, it's past. All right. So, Will, we better have a story from you, and I think we're going to have to quickly get through the rest and get out of here.
I'm assuming you guys have covered the politicians trying to explain the internet story.
No, we thought we'd leave that for you because seriously.
Oh, really? I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically they've decided that there's a new way that they can sift through everything that everybody's doing. But I love his quote. What was his quote? We're not tracking what website you visit, only the web address.
Yeah, we're not tracking the website, the address.
That was Brandis, wasn't it?
Same thing.
Was that Brandis?
Yeah, Brandis.
Yeah. And then they went on to say he was saying things like, "We're not collecting the data. We'll only collect the landing page data, and then after every site you click on from within that landing page, you're only collecting the metadata. It's like,
Yeah.
hang on, and these guys are the future of our country.
Oh, look.
There's another video online I saw people posting today where a couple of years ago before they got in, he was saying, people are not going to accept if this Labor government is going to try and keep all the metadata and all the list of web pages and stuff. They'll never accept that. Now he's like, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep all the metadata and list of websites and information that people use.
Yeah, it's hopeless, isn't it? It is hopeless.
It's unbelievable. Like, I don't understand. And this is his own policy. So somebody's introducing their own policy. They're describing their own policy to somebody who doesn't know what their policy is. The problem is the person who's introducing the policy that they've just introduced doesn't know anything about it either.
I can understand.
Well, you don't have to be knowledgeable to get into politics. You just have to be a rich white old man.
Well, yeah, that's
your
right.
qualification right there.
Yeah, that seems to be about it. It's they say what was he saying?
He was also not quoted as saying, they've got the internet on computers now?
Mr. Brenner said the electronic signature of websites could not be recorded under the new laws. So the electronic signature of the website could not be recorded under the new law, but the clicks within a particular website. Whoa, that makes even less sense. The signature of websites could not be recorded under the new law, but clicks within a particular website could not be recorded. But when you visit a page and browse from one page to the next, that's what we're recording.
Which is what he just said they can't record.
Yeah, look. Yeah, I think PA's in the lounge. He's pretty much right. I think it's only a topic of conversation because they've been recording this data probably for years anyway. And it's just a topic that's come up and we're talking about it.
Snowden.
It's been more than years. It's been decades they've been recording everything we do, so it's not unusual. But the fact that there's even an article. I was actually reading an article. I just started reading it while I was at work, actually, saying that they've just come out recently and said that every phone call you make, every time everything you've Googled, every Facebook post, it's all tracked, which we knew. But there was one from an ex-FBI agent saying that they've hunted and killed people based on metadata that's been stored on them.
Yeah, I saw that.
You mean to say the government knows when I go to porntube.com? That's terrible. I mean, I would never go. I don't even know what that means. Never heard of it before.
Why do you think every time, and we've done this 2 or 3 times, we've always mentioned every time you start mentioning terrorism or bomb threats or things like that, your internet suddenly drops out or slows down. I wonder why.
Look, I think Glenn could just disconnect William right now. That would be hilarious.
He doesn't normally have to. It normally happens. It's amazing how often it happens.
No, we just well, where's my mouse? We'll just do this to Will. We'll just do that to him. Now, how you Will? How you going? No, he can't hear us.
No, he's disconnected.
Yeah,
bloody NSA.
He's been muted, see? He's been silenced.
Bar and or humbug.
Yeah, look, I think...
You anti-conspiracy theorists will be the end of us.
I think... look, I don't know. Like all this data gets collected. Yes, it's not personal until they start looking and attaching this data to a person. And I suppose as long as they don't use it as for fishing expeditions, I don't know. That's probably all right.
Warning expeditions? Fishing? Oh, okay.
Like Sergey Brin said, if you haven't got anything to hide, then you got nothing to worry about if they know everything about you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
What's the problem?
And they even record how many times you press the cross the road button, the walking things there. And if you press it more than once, I'll come and get you.
Oh, I knew it. I knew they did that.
Hey, just ask Croc Dundee. He'll tell you.
I think they should do that.
I think they should. Nothing worse than stand there with a set of lights and someone bang, 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 bang. It's like, dude.
Yeah. It only registers once. After that, it ignores you.
Let me use your head for the same purpose, can I?
All right, that's it. I think we've well past our allotment for this episode. So
I had to make up for last week.
I know. But now, Will, you're away for the rest of the month. Is this right?
I believe so. Yeah, this will be my last show for the next 3 weeks because next week I'll be getting ready to go and I'll be gone for 2 weeks after that.
What about the Obsidian Loft Minecraft podcast? Also available on any podcast app near you and YouTube.
And YouTube and go to obsidianloft.com to check out the website there and find everything there.
So I guess that podcast will be on hiatus for a while.
Oh, you never know.
And also, don't forget the Aussie Max Zone. You can find them at their own webpage as well, aussiemaxzone.com.au. And also,
wherever they are.
Yeah, they're going good. They're taking questions. They're going great. And
they managed to record their show.
Yeah.
No, I'm only part-time now on that show. Very part-time. So, no.
He doesn't know that there's no video for this episode today.
Oh, yeah, there's no video unless Ustream records. I'm definitely.
No, could do.
I don't know. But anyway, I'll suss that out. Maybe PA or. Oh, no, he doesn't use the Ustream. Anyway, doesn't matter. Don't forget the Facebook, facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads. You can find iOS and Android free apps of the day. Normally you have to pay for them, but on that day when you're seeing they're free, so woohoo, woot, woot. And AussieTechRadio.com, 24/7, wall to wall, pillar to pillar, everything. Tech radio, tech shows, New Zealand, Australian shows. Go and have a look at that. Techwebcast.info, the Aussie Max Zone, us, the two boys talking tech, Ozdroid, heaps of them. So go and check that one out.
.com.
Who are?
Obsidianloft.com.
Yes. Say it one more time. I think people understood what you were saying.
Obsidianloft.com.
Is this Jay, is this a recording?
Obsidianloft.com. Obsidianloft.com.
Why don't you should make that into some elevator music or something.
Dude.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to know it. It's
sorry. I'll just keep talking then. All right, so just keep listening to what. Yeah, I can't keep talking. Just keep doing what you're doing and listening to the show. All right, thanks, Warlock. Thanks, Jace. Thanks for coming in. And we'll see you next week.
Next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Will.
I had a feeling for that lazy Bill dude who's not
yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I might even come down and pay you a visit. We might do a show live, eh?
Oh, he's going down. Oh, he's going to the coal country.
Yep.
What's going on, Will?
Heading down that way and going down Great Ocean Road and all that through there. So, yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah, it's not far from here.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so we'll see those guys another time, and we'll hope to be seeing you next time as well. So until next episode, have a good week. It's all goodbye from us, and goodbye to your family. Bye-bye.
Bye.